Hello, my name is Gary Moses, and I'd like to welcome you to today's ServiceU Training. Today's training will cover a few topics. First, the overall event planning process and how it relates to ServiceU. Next, we're going to go over logging in and navigating through the home page, creating new users, creating new events, running reports, and also some additional information. And also, if there are some questions or concerns, or also if there's some topics that you did not understand fully within this particular training, please shoot us an email at serviceuadmin@tfop.org, and we'll be happy to answer any questions or concerns or topics that you did not understand. Okay, so let's jump right into it. First, the event planning process. It consists of 7 steps. The first step is the ministry approval and date request. Within this particular step, the ministry event request must be given to co-pastor Mia Wright via email, print, fax, or placed in her mailbox at least 90 days prior to the request. Now, dates will be checked for availability and tentatively placed on the church calendar pending budget approval from the finance committee. And step 2 is considered to be the budget approval. A budget must be approved by the finance committee. Complete and submit a detailed budget sheet and the summary sheet to the finance committee's mailbox. All ministries must adhere to the financial procedures for ministries. And step 3 is the confirmation on the church calendar. The events coordinator will contact you to confirm that your event is scheduled following your budget approval. Now, in step 4, the facility request, this is actually considered to be the service use section. So with all facility requests, events, meetings, whatever it may be, as far as scheduling, all users and ministries must use ServiceU, which is a web-based calendar program, to submit facility requests. And all requests must be entered at least 5 days prior to your event. Each ministry must have a completed ServiceU form on file in order to guarantee your meeting room or event. Now, meeting rooms are assigned according to availability and need. So at the beginning of the year, a new form should be completed for frequently scheduled meetings. For example, if we were talking about the worship arts ministry, like choir rehearsals and things like that. Okay, and step 5, depending on the nature of your event, if it's a big event like a concert or something like that, that's where your contract review and approval will come in step 5. Submit all contracts to the church office. This includes letters of agreement, purchase orders, contracts, etc. No ministry leader is authorized to enter the church into an oral or written agreement or contract, because all contracts must be approved and signed by designated church officers. In step 6, that's where your marketing plan, advertising, and promotional tools will come in effect. This deals with your publication requests. So this includes brochures, certificates, flyers, posters, t-shirts, things like that, your evites, banners, any item that the church's name is on. That's what this particular section entails. So you must submit a request on the publication work form at least 14 business days prior to the date needed. Some publications will require more than 14 days, but that depends on the nature of the event. Items not published in-house should be submitted to the office for approval for distribution. There are no exceptions to this particular rule. In step 7, that's where evaluation comes into play. Do an evaluation of your planning and your event to identify opportunities for improvement, both qualitative and quantitative. Feedback should be solicited. Okay? Now we're going to go ahead and jump right into the ServiceU page, because I'm not going to just go through PowerPoint slides and things like that. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. Now, when you go to the ServiceU page to log in, you want to simply go to my.serviceu.com. You don't necessarily need to put in the triple W's. It'll pretty much just take you there if you type in my.serviceu.com. And once you get to this section, the administrator should have already sent you your email and temporary password. Once you receive that particular information and you log on with your temporary password, the system will prompt you to change your password or customize it to a more personal password. That way you won't have to use the temporary password, which is a lot of different characters and symbols and numbers and things like that. Okay. Okay, this is your home. This is considered to be your home page. This home page is is considered that this particular home page is pertinent to each user, each system user. And when I say system user, is each user that has been registered within ServiceU will have their own home page that will be pertinent to that particular individual. Now, within the home page, there are two sections: the waiting on me and the items related to me. Under the waiting on me section, each system user contains information that is actually pertinent to that particular user. But within this particular section, it details any events that is actually waiting for me to take an action on. For example, if I'm a coordinator and I'm involved in the approval process for events, um, also if any events pending my approval, um, it will actually be in this particular section, the waiting on me section. Any events that I have submitted to other coordinators that have been rejected or uh, sent back to me that I actually need to edit or work on will also show up in the waiting on me section as well. So events that are quite literally waiting on me to take an action will be located in the waiting on me section, and they will stay there until I do what I need to do. They're not just going to go away or anything like that. So they're going to sit there until we do something with them. Now the second section, items related to me. In this particular section, this allows me to see recent events that I've created, submitted, uh, or have recently been approved for me. If I created an event and it's going to show up under here in this particular section. If I don't submit it into the approval process, it also is going to show up under this particular section, and it's going to be labeled as not yet submitted. And in this particular section, I can keep track of all the things I've worked on just by looking at my home page. So all the items that are waiting on me or related to me, you will find that in or within your home page. Now, here at the Fountain of Praise, I want to talk about the tabs for a moment. We will only be dealing with the scheduling tab. Within the Fountain of Praise, we do not have ticketing, giving, registrations, or green within the ServiceU module. So within ServiceU, we will only be focusing on the scheduling section. Here at the Fountain of Praise, we do have online giving, but our online giving, like I said, is not considered to be within ServiceU. Okay, we're going to jump right into scheduling a new event. Now, there are two ways you can schedule a new event: by clicking on the new event tab here, or if you were in the scheduling section, you can also click on the new event tab here. Now, once you click into the new event tab, it will take you to the event wizard. I'm going to go ahead and jump right in, but before I do, I want to click on this little red button here. When you click on that, it gives a disclaimer, and it lets all of the users know that we apologize, but all events must be scheduled at least 5 days in advance. Thank you for your cooperation and understanding as we strive to provide you service with excellence. The reason why we put this particular disclaimer on here is because here at the Fountain of Praise, we have over 100 ministries, and we need at least 5 days in advance to be able to service each individual ministry adequately and accurately. Being that we are a large ministry, we have to have enough time to where we allow users to plan and allow us to be able to service you as the needs come in. So in this particular example, we're going to do a test event. I'm going to call it testing for ServiceU. And I'm going to go ahead and choose a date. So now that we know all events must be scheduled at least 5 days in advance, let's go ahead and schedule an event 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll go ahead and do the 8th. And this will be considered as a one-day event, so we'll simply click the same date. Let's schedule an event from 7 p.m. And also make sure you, when you're scheduling your event times, make sure you do your correct PMs, your AMs and PMs. We don't want you to mean that you want to schedule an event for 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. and then you accidentally put 2 a.m. to 5 p.m. Because in that particular instance, your event will get rejected. So just make sure you choose the correct AMs and PMs. So in this example, we'll say from 7 to 9 p.m. Your setup and cleanup times, we recommend that you do a minimum of 30 minutes for each, because this allows the staff or whatever resources associated with your event to be set up a minimum of 30 minutes before, so we can avoid the issues of if it's a ministry meeting or event that's scheduled directly in front of you. It would at least give us that 30-minute window to set your particular event up. So for setup and cleanup times, we like to keep a minimum of 30 minutes per setup or cleanup times. Now, you can always do more, but a minimum of 30 minutes. This section here, since we've only chosen one date, we will always leave the first option checked, all dates in event date range. If we were doing an event, say from July 8th through, let's say, August 26th, and notice that I've chosen a Monday, and this particular date here was on a Monday as well. Let's just say I wanted to schedule an event every Monday. You know, with the set up a recurring event, this gives you the option to do just that. For example, we were in July and August, so we can say, okay, I want to meet, you know, every Monday, or I just want to only do the first Mondays. You know, it gives you that option to do reoccurring days to schedule. But for example, if we say, for instance, if we didn't want to necessarily meet on a Monday all the time, within this particular date range, if we were to choose or add random dates, this gives us the flexibility to add dates, any date within this particular range from July 8th all the way through the 26th of August. So we can choose any date. It don't necessarily have to be a recurring Monday or a recurring Tuesday. It can be any date. So it gives you a flexibility to choose random dates when you choose that particular section. But in this particular example, we're going to stick to the one date range, and we're going to go ahead and put our date back to July 8th. This section here allows the reader to know and get or gather information about your particular event. So if you were to go on the church calendar and it was an event on there for Epiphany concert, if it's an outside person, and they went on the calendar to see exactly what that is, they might not know what Epiphany means or what it is. But when they go on a particular website or whatever, the description should let that reader or user know exactly what your event or meeting is. So in this example, I'll just say testing for ServiceU Training. I'll come up with a number. Now, we definitely want to make sure the number attending, we want to get that as accurate as possible. In this particular example, I'll just say 6, because this particular section, it allows the maintenance staff to know exactly how many chairs or what resources is needed to set up your event to accommodate you. So we definitely want to make sure we have the total number and try to be as accurate as possible. The viewed by, we want to make sure that we always choose org website, because this places your actual calendar event on the actual church's website. If you choose staff only the internal staff will be able to see your event. And I'm going to show you later on in the training how to default this particular section to where you won't even have to worry about it. Departments, this is considered to be all of the departments that we have here at the Fountain of Praise. In this particular example, I'll just say, let's say information technology. And if you were collaborating with other departments here at the church, if you click on add more departments, it allows you to choose whatever department that you're collaborating with. Categories, we only use this section when it pertains to these particular categories. For example, like I was mentioning earlier about the Epiphany concert, if we were scheduling a rehearsal for Epiphany, then we would like to choose Epiphany, for that particular category. If we were scheduling an event over at Fountain Life, we would like to put Fountain Life, and so forth and so on. So if your event that you're scheduling does not pertain to any of these particular categories, you don't necessarily have to worry about this particular section. You can actually just skip that section. And you can also do the same thing as add more categories if you needed to do that particular thing. Now the contact will be considered as me because I'm actually submitting this event. But if you had a designated user within your ministry that you wanted to be the point person or the point of contact for this particular event or meeting, you can also do that. These are all of the users that are associated or system users within ServiceU. And if it's a person that's not in ServiceU, you can simply click this button here and provide a different contact. You can put their contact information in. That way, individuals will be able to see who is the contact or point person for your event. The address, we have Fountain Life Center and also Hillcroft. If you click on any one of these, it'll automatically populate the address. But if you were choosing an event or a meeting of some sort off-site, if you click Other, it'll allow you to put that information in as well. In this example, we'll choose the Hillcroft campus. This section here, we can leave everything checked except for the second option. This one talks about registrations, and we do not use, as I stated earlier, we do not use registrations within the ServiceU module. So make sure you leave that section unchecked. Once you uncheck it and you actually go through the entire event wizard the first time, the next time you come through the wizard, it'll automatically remain unchecked. So just remember this second section here, we like to leave the second one unchecked because we do not use registrations within the ServiceU platform. So we're going to go ahead and go to next. This particular section here, it pretty much gives you a follow-up of the actual event times that we've chosen. For this event, we did 7 to 9 p.m. And like I stated before, your setup and cleanup times are at least 30 minutes minimum. So it's showing that your resource times, your setup time would be 6:30, cleanup time would be around 9:30. This section here contains your available resources and also support services. You do not necessarily need to click on support services because the support services on the back end are automatically attached to what each resource that it needs to be. So for example, if you were to choose something from the audiovisual group, like a microphone or something like that, the AV sound and mics will automatically be attached to it, and it will actually send an email or notification to those particular resources or respective groups who need to actually be affiliated with your particular event pertaining to that particular resource. In this example, I'm going to go ahead and choose each particular section just because I want you to be able to see exactly what each section entails. I'm not going to choose the admin center right now because that particular section is not yet developed and the construction is still going on for the Fountain Life Admin Center. This is your resource section. Now one thing I want you to notice about this section is you have some items that are indicated in green. If your resource appears in green, that means your resource is available. If your resource appears in black, that means it's unavailable. I'm going to see if we have some resources down here that are in black. For example, here, the conference room B, you notice is in black. So if you see a resource and it's black, that means it is not available for that particular time and day that you have chosen. Okay, so everything in green is available. Anything that is in black is not available. Okay, for your administrative, this consists of all of your clipboards, easels, markers. If you needed any of those particular items for your event, this particular section will give you the option to do that, and it also inventories everything. So it lets you know how many we have on hand at that particular time. Audio visual, this consists of your microphones, your portable projectors. We have laptops, televisions, overhead projectors, organs. This consists of everything that has to do with audio visual or technology, so to speak, within the audio visual section. In our example, we're going to go ahead and choose one portable projector. We're going to also choose, I'm sorry about that little pop-up there. We're also going to choose a laptop. And let's go ahead and choose a projection screen as well. We want to make sure when we choose these particular items, the projector, projection screen, and laptop usually kind of sort of correlates with each other. Now, the only reason that you will not choose a laptop is if you choose your own, or you plan to bring your own laptop. But most of the times we encourage ministries or individuals to choose our laptops. That way we can actually support that particular item to the best of our ability. Because if you do bring your laptop, we definitely will try to accommodate you and help you and help you, but we can't actually guarantee that your particular item or your particular laptop will work with our equipment. You know, we would definitely help you to the best of our ability, but we also recommend that you choose one of our laptops. And we'll get to something related to this later on in the section, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. In this section under facility setup, this consists of your tables, your chairs, your tablecloths and skirts and things of that nature. And in this example, I'll choose a 5-foot table. And you want to make sure when you do choose that particular item, that you put the actual number quantity in this section. Because if you don't and you click next, the page will actually redirect you back to this section and let you know you have not chosen a quantity. So I'll choose 1. And with our tables, we want to also make sure we choose a tablecloth as well. I chose 6 individuals for this example, so I'll also do 6 chairs as well. The finance resource, this is used for facility rentals or weddings, things like that. The Fountain Life Center, here are the rooms and resources that we have for that particular section. And here's the Hillcroft section. In this example, I'm going to go ahead and choose Conference Room A. Yeah, I'll choose Conference Room A. And within this particular room, I already know offhand that this particular room it contains a flat screen TV. Now I know you're probably asking yourself, well, how would I know that if this is my first time going through the training? I'm going to show you. Once we go through the training, there's going to be a section that lets you know what each room has within it. And so if you come across an instance whereas you've chosen a projection screen and you choose a room that has a TV screen in it, please click back and uncheck your projection screen. The reason why I said it is because we can hook up the laptop. Also, you can actually uncheck portable projector and projection screen, because we can actually hook up your laptop to the actual TV, and it will actually project on the TV just fine. We have flat screen TVs, and they're about 60 inches each one of them, and you can actually connect to those. But I'll show you how you'll be able to notice that further along in the training. The resource section, we also have a 26 passenger church bus and also a 10 passenger church van, because there are events or meetings that we have that consist of the church van as well. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go next. Excuse me. This section here is your resource setup section. Now notice in the last section I've chosen Conference Room A, and we have different setup styles for each particular room. And if you scroll a little to the bottom of the page, it has the different like a legend, so to speak, to let you know the different styles or give you an example of the different styles that we have. So you would simply come up here, check one of them, one of the particular sections that you need, or setup styles. And if you have any additional information, you can actually put it in this section. This section here, the information above applies only to this resource. Now we use this option here when we are choosing one particular date. Remember, in this example, we chose July 8th, which is a one-day event. So we want to make sure that we choose this option here. If we were choosing random dates or recurring dates, and we wanted each particular event or meeting to be set up exactly the same with the same resources every single time, then we would choose this second option here. But if we wanted each meeting to be set up differently, say for instance, if I wanted a Monday meeting to be set up with a projector, projection screen, and laptop, the next meeting to just be set up with tables and chairs, the next meeting just chairs and things like that, we would choose this option because it gives us a little bit more flexibility to set up each day different. In this example, we're choosing a one-day event, so we're going to go ahead and stick with the first option. Okay. Now going back to what I said about that original resource about the conference room, when I said that it had a flat screen TV in it, the system will also let you know um, that the particular room that you've chosen or resource, it has a TV in it. So it's saying use this form requesting a flat screen TV. And it's pretty much letting the user know that that room that you did request, it has a TV in it. So in this particular instance, the room you've chosen contains a flat screen TV. Will it be needed for your event or meeting? Now you can choose to use it or you don't have to. In my opinion, if you do choose that room, the TVs are nice, so I would definitely say yes. So in this example, if you do say yes, go ahead and go back a couple of pages. Okay. And I would say go ahead and remove the portable projector and projection screen, just because that particular TV is in that room, and it'll go just fine with your particular event. But we definitely do want to keep the laptop because that's what we will need to actually connect to the TV. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and say yes. Will a presentation be displayed? In this example, I'll say yes. Will you be using a laptop for your presentation? Yes. If yes, please choose the following. I plan to use a laptop provided by the Fountain of Praise. I plan to use my own personal laptop. And like I said earlier, there's a disclaimer. If you plan to use your laptop, if you plan to use a laptop from the Fountain of Praise, please ensure you select the laptop under audiovisual. Also, if you plan to use your own personal laptop, we cannot guarantee support for your laptop. Okay? And there also is a section for additional information and things like that. Use this form for requesting laptops, portable projectors, and projection screens. Who will be responsible for your AV? In this section, you just say TFOP. Do you need to meet with the coordinator? If there's anything that you want to discuss or any additional information, please put it here and put yes if you do. But if not, we will already have your particular items already set up. So in this section, we'll just say not applicable for right now. If there are any special instructions, you can put them there. Will there be a presentation? Yes. And we ask that, if it is a presentation, if you're not just using the internet, but we would like to know exactly what you'll be using. If you come with some sort of media, a CD, DVD, USB storage drive, we like you to bring that particular media in advance, at least 2 days in advance. That way, your media can be tested on our laptops, and we can make sure that for your event, everything is set up nicely, and there won't be, it minimizes the point of troubleshooting. Okay. So next, this section here allows you to email or send reminders to users within your ministry. So for example, if I had a meeting and I want to make sure I remind people of our meeting, you can actually set it up here. These are all of the system users. You can also send reminders via hours, days, weeks, or months, whichever one you choose. And let's just say if I did a 1 day occurrence, if it's someone that's not a system user, let's just say john.doe@tfop.org, and you send them over, it'll let you know this person is a guest, and you can actually send out email reminders reminding individuals about your event. Okay, but in this section, in this example, we're not going to actually use any event reminders. And you can actually do that before the first occurrence, last occurrence, or every occurrence if you wanted to. This is the last section here that states it pretty much is your summary page. It lets the user know exactly what your event is. The information that's provided is letting you know the status of your event is not yet submitted. It will be on an organizational website, and it's also given the contact information. Excuse me. And if you scroll down, it gives you your resources and is letting you know the particular items that you've chosen, is letting you know that you've chosen a 5-foot table where it's going to be, is letting you know that all these items are pending, and it's letting you know that there are no conflicts with your resources. So there are no other ministries or departments that are choosing those particular items or resources. So you're actually scot-free. You just go ahead and submit your event. And to do that, you simply click here, Submit Event for Approval. Now, as you can see, once I've submitted that particular event, it's going to sit here as pending final schedule approval. Okay. Now, one other thing that I would like to show you guys is, as I mentioned earlier in the new event section, remember where we talked about the viewed by staff only in org website? Now, how you default this particular section, if you click on your name and you come down to where it says default viewed by for events, this will allow you to go ahead and default org website. That way you will not have to worry about that particular section. Another thing I want to show you is, say for instance, we want to search for, we want to schedule an event, but we don't want to necessarily go through the entire event wizard to see if there are some events available, or we get through that particular event wizard and the days or resources that we've scheduled is not available. So if we click on reports and go to available resources, and let's say we want to see what is scheduled on, let's say the 25th, and we want to look at times from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Just say for instance we wanted to consider scheduling a meeting or event on that particular day, and let's say we want to look at audiovisual resources. If we do a search, it will let us know what's available, what's not available, and the items that are not available, it'll let us know exactly which ministries are using those particular items. So also, if we came up here and we say, okay, I want to see what rooms are available on that particular day and time, it'll break it down and let us know, okay, the choir room is being used, conference room A, B, the lobby desk, lobby south, and it also, it'll put those particular ministries. So I think this particular section, as far as available resources, it's a good section to actually come to before you actually schedule your event, because it allows you to see which resources are already available before you even go through the entire event process. Another thing I want to show you guys, I'm going to go ahead and log in as administrator. I want to also show you guys the calendar. This particular calendar here is the same calendar that is associated with the TFOP website calendar. This is all of the events that we have scheduled, all of the events on the calendar, and things like that. This particular calendar, you can actually look from months at a time and things like that. You can also tailor it by departments, and you can also do searches and advanced searches and things like that as well. Now, another thing I want to show you guys is how to cancel an event. So first, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and log out, log in as administrator. And I'm going to go ahead and approve this event for right now. That way you can see exactly what it looks like. And I'm going to show you how to cancel and or edit an event that is submitted already on the calendar. So as you can see now, the event under items related to me, it states that this event is approved and it's July 8th. So if we go to the calendar and we go to July 8th, we should see it. There it is right there, testing for ServiceU. Now say for instance, if we wanted to cancel this particular event, what we would do, there's two ways we can cancel. If we go to the home page, we can actually click on the event here, or if we were on the calendar and we clicked on the event here, it will take us to this particular section. Now you can only do that if this is actually your event. If you click on that particular event and it is not your event, it will not give you these options. So I'm just gonna go ahead and click on one so you guys can see. Like if I did new members orientation, you see it only gives me a few options: hide, show, copy event, printable version. But if we go back and we click on our event that we actually submitted, it will give us those different options: edit event, cancel event, things like that. Now, say for instance, if I said, well, I'm not going to be able to make it. It's not a good day. Let's go ahead and cancel this event. We go ahead and click on cancel event. You have asked to cancel this event. You will be redirected to a page where you can choose the type of cancellation. Press continue. Okay to continue. Once we go to this section, it's going to give us two options. Do we want to permanently delete this event and all of the resources, or do we want to keep a placeholder? Most of the time, what we want to do, we want to keep a placeholder, which will show up on the calendar as testing for ServiceU has been canceled, because this let the reader and the users know that your event has been canceled, and also the internal staff can post a posting letting individuals know if they have not prior to coming to the facility, they have not looked at the calendar, they can see that your event has been canceled. So a good rule of thumb to remember: if you cancel an event, most of the time we like to keep a placeholder. Now, if you do not, if this is an event that you schedule months in advance, and you just don't want any of the things to be up there, you can just simply click permanently delete event and all resources. But most of the time, we like to tell our users to keep a placeholder so it'll let the users know, or people in your ministry know, that your event has been canceled. Okay? In this particular example, since we were just doing a test, we're going to go ahead and do permanently delete. No, you know what? We're going to go ahead and keep it like this so you guys can see exactly what it looks like. It's going to come here. It's still going to say event approved. It's going to let us know that it's canceled. We come out here to the calendar, and you can see testing for ServiceU has been canceled. Okay. But now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and cancel this event altogether, and we're going to permanently delete it so it will not be on the church's calendar. And as you can see, it's deleted out of the items related to me. We come over here to scheduling, and it's still there. Oh, this is a different event. You almost got me. Okay. This is a different event because this is actually one that I scheduled previously. Reason why I know is because this one was scheduled at 6 p.m. and this particular example that we did was at 7 p.m. So we're going to go ahead and cancel this one as well. Permanently delete, continue, continue. And if we come out here to scheduling, go to the 8th, it is gone. Okay. And that pretty much wraps up our ServiceU training. I want to thank you guys for joining us. Like I said, if there are any questions or concerns that you guys might have, please shoot us an email at serviceuadmin@tfop.org. And also, if there's some items that you did not understand, please rewind the video and have a great day. All right, thanks.